Okay, let's see if we can get this run to work out. Hey, bud. Can we get you to do everything?
Salve, friend. Mind? Oh.
That only helps a few of them. Like, this doesn't actually... This isn't enough. You save Yulia, but she can't vote. You save Rufius, he'll switch his vote, but that's literally one person. You save Fabia, but she can't vote. But maybe... Because Georgius is friends with Fabia, right? Maybe saving Fabia will get Georgius to switch his vote as well. Saving Yulia will hopefully get Ulpius to switch his vote. Well, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes.
Yulia?
Oh! Oh, there's another one that appears once you've done all that.
Good.
Okay, I see, I see.
Alright, let me see.
Tell Malleolus you know his real name is Quinctius and that Nero sends his regards. Then tell him to withdraw from the election and release his debt bondsman.
What? Are you... You're serious, aren't you? I doubt Domitius will let me talk to him, but I'll make sure he passes on the message.
Alright, go.
I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
Okay, and then we need to go to Ulpius, because Ulpius is still going to kill himself if he thinks Yulia's killed himself. So we still need to inform him that Yulia's fine and that his debt's been paid off, I think. But everything else I think he's doing. I think the only thing that's not, that he isn't doing, is telling Ulpius that Yulia's okay. But yeah, out of those ones, it's not many people are actually going to vote for him for that, but there's nothing else. It has to be enough, because like we've done all the objectives. There's not anything else left to do. Oh, wait. I guess it did save him, because he isn't here. Huh. I don't know if this... I want to yeet, but I don't know. I don't think that's deep enough to save my life without him breaking the floor, so I'm not going to. Oh, hi. You got anything new to say when he's not about to yeet?
Sal, welcome to life. That's if you're well. We've all. I still.
Okay. Okay, so he does. That includes that as well. That's good to know then. Good to know.
Not a good time, friend.
Oh? Why?
Not a good time, friend.
There goes that. Is Galerius... What's Galerius up to right now? Galerius looks busy. Is he just waiting for him?
Salve, Rufius.
Yep.
I hear your rheumatism has you so riled up you've been harassing Virgil.
What? My condition is nobody's business but mine.
There's no need for that. I just wanted to give you this willow bark to help you treat it.
A treatment?
Oh, maybe this will get Virgil's vote as well, because he does... It's two birds with one stone
God.
for Rufius.
Finally, some relief after all this time. Thank you, Galerius. You're a good man. And I'll be sure to leave Virgil alone. I know I haven't been at my best lately.
Appreciate that. Now, I've got to run.
Okay. Now he's going to go to Domitius, tell him to pass on the message. Wait, Domitius isn't going to stop him?
What now?
I have a message from Malleolus.
Yeah? Who's it from?
The Emperor. He knows Malleolus's real name is Quinctius, thanks to Claudia, and demands he withdraw from the election and release Ulpius and Iulia immediately.
Are you out of your mind, farm boy?
Domitius, that's enough.
What? You're not going to listen to this dolt, are you?
Galerius, all right, I'll withdraw, and Ulpius and Julia are free. I trust our business is concluded.
Yes, that ought to do it. I guess I'll go and tell Ulpius the good news then.
Alright. And I guess Ulpius is just waiting up here still?
Citizen,
Which doesn't make sense that he would change his plan when he hasn't heard anything yet, but
Good news, Ulpius.
I'll take it.
Malleolus has agreed to release you and Iulia from your debts.
What? Are you messing with me?
I wouldn't do that. You're both free.
We're free. We're free. Thank you. It seems fortune smiles on us after all. I'd better go and pay a visit to Iulia immediately.
Okay, where's Galerius going now?
citizen.
You done? He's still busy. What are we waiting for now?
Yeah. I'm so glad you didn't go through with it.
I'm not sure what we're waiting for. Are we waiting for what's-her-face?
We're free. Malleolus just released us and we never have to
I wonder if these guys will say they've changed their votes
fellow
now.
traveler, greetings. That, my friend, is quite... I do not... Nothing.
He's not going to change his mind. I thought maybe because what's-his-face saved what's-her-face? And I'm guessing no change for you either then?
Ah, are you?
Wait, what?
Welcome.
Eh? The conversation just closes when you click who you're going to vote for. Wait, maybe it's because we haven't put Galerius as someone that is on the ballot yet.
Don't believe a word they tell you.
Where's that coming from?
Contract to be magistrate, sir. All that work, all that money wasted.
Those are my orders. Carry them out.
As you wish, sir.
Okay, so he's going to announce that Malleolus is withdrawn. Aquisha will be unavailable until Galerius has finished his errands. Okay.
Priestess, Malleolus has decided to withdraw from the election.
Oh, well, that's surprising. But thank you for telling me. I'll let everyone know.
Okay, so he's waiting for her. Yeet.
Citizens, I have an announcement. Malleolus has withdrawn his candidacy from today's election. Unless any new challengers are nominated by nightfall, Sentius will be re-elected magistrate by default.
Actually, I'd like to nominate myself, if that's all right.
Of course, Galerius. That's your right. Citizens, the election will proceed.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible?
Okay, so this is a repeat. I'm reliving the same day.
You're a bit... Sisyphus. Sisyphus, he was forcing... Tantal... Oh. Anyway, so, I'll tell you... Oh, and I'm in the running for magistrate.
Nice.
Feeling kind of nervous, but I'm hoping it'll all be worth it when I order Dooley's release. I just hope I'll have the votes I need.
I think you will. I have a feeling you'll do great.
Oh, that's kind of you to say. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although...
Okay, that's a repeat.
And if our
Okay, so now let's double check. Now he's in the running. Everything's
You
sorted.
look well, my sir. Hello. Galerius.
Nice.
Did you know he saved the life of my young friend Fabia? The man is a hero. But of course.
Sweet. Okay, so
I
that's
hope-
that. I'm guessing. Okay, that's it. He's won then. We've sorted it. Are you still gonna bug out?
Back.
Who are you gonna vote for?
Galerius,
There we go.
definitely. He put an end to the notes and graffiti I've been receiving. All right. Nice to...
Rufius will definitely be voting Galerius.
Name's Rufius.
Won't Malleolus and Domitius just turn up anyway and break the golden rule anyway, though? Like they did when Sentius won?
Galerius. Sorted out my rheumatism. For the first time in a long time, I'm not in constant pain. Good man. Fine.
Okay, we haven't done anything for Decius, so I'm curious what he'll say.
Hello there, friend.
I took it from the Shrine of Diana, only to discover you locked me inside with angry hornets. I managed to escape, and after harrowing ordeal and travelling back in time, here I am.
Are you well, stranger? Have you been out in the sun too long? You seem a little... confused? Perhaps you should go and see Lucretia in a clinic.
Who are you going to vote for?
Sentius, I suppose. Stability is always good for business.
I'd like you to vote for Galerius.
Yeah? And what's he going to do for me? He's nothing.
Would a gift change your mind?
Certainly. For a few thousand denarii.
Oh, wow. Fine, here's 3,000 denarii.
Pleasure doing business. Can I help you with anything else?
I'll
Very
be going
well.
now.
Another time.
I wonder if he actually will. How much denarii do I have now? Less than 1,000. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure the vote was already secured, but if it wasn't, then now it definitely is, right? Because with Domitius not doing it, I assume Domitius won't be doing it. Unless we can convince him... Okay, let's go speak to Domitius.
Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside.
Citizen.
Oh, here's Ulpius as well. Ulpius,
Isn't
you
the
talking
great
to
temple
Galerius?
majestic?
You voting for Galerius, rather?
Shalom, friend. Galerius.
Nice.
He saved my life. I have a feeling he can do a lot more if given the chance. All right, friend.
Okay, Domitius, I assume, is still not going.
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not? What now?
Okay.
Whatever.
I don't... There's no reason that he's not going to turn up and ruin everything like last time, but I don't see a way to stop that.
All weapons are to be tossed in.
Okay, is that everyone? I think that's everyone, right? I think that's the best possible...
Don't believe a word they tell
That's
you.
Ulpius, yes. Georgius, yes. Virgil, yes. Rufius, yes. Decius, yes. Dooley can't vote. Domitius isn't going. Sentius can't vote because he's running. Horatius will never vote for anyone other than Sentius. And there's no other men, right? I think that's it. What's in here? How do we get past her? I feel like there should be a way in here. I've never seen this before. How have I never seen this before? Just a little indent. I can't think of another way to access that. Note from Kabash. Huh. Kabash to Kabash. I told Lucretia about the dreams I've been having, and she said it might help her divine their meaning if I wrote them down. It happened last night. The man by the river was there as always, his face shrouded in shadow from that peculiar ram headdress. Wait. Have we read this? I think we've read that, right? We know, even if we haven't, we know basically what it says. There must be a way into this little hole. But without being able to move her, and we can't move her, I don't know what that would be.
Don't believe a word they tell you.
Alright, I guess let's get this show on the road then.
A new face. Oh. It must be. It'll be between. Why do you. As I. Very.
Okay, go, go, go.
Citizens, it is time. Let us meet to elect our magistrate.
Time to go to the theater.
So, yeah, Galerius is definitely going to win, but then is Domitius and Malleolus just going to show up and kill everyone? Well, you know, cause the thing to happen that kills everyone? Because I don't know how I could stop that. But maybe they just won't do it this time? It's going to be very annoying if they do it, though, because the day has to not end for Galerius to let Dudley out of prison and for me to get the thing. So if the day does end, then there is some way of stopping Domitius. But, like, Malleolus won't talk to me, and... Wait, maybe he will talk to me. Because it isn't me that... Oh, it's Galerius that... It's Galerius that gave him the news this time. He doesn't know I had anything to do with it, so maybe he would talk to me and maybe I could stop him this time. Fuck, well, it's too late now. Let's see how this plays out. If this doesn't work, I probably can stop it next time. Hopefully it just works.
Citizens, we have a quorate body of voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and late nominee Gallus Galerius Helver. Marcus Malleolus Gurges withdrew his candidacy earlier today. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Galerius. He saved the life of my dear friend Fabia.
Dacius.
Galerius.
Virgil.
The man who
he
put a
did
stop
vote.
to the threats I've been receiving. Galerius.
I was wondering if he'd take my cash and then not do it.
Galerius, the man who saved my life.
Rufius.
The man who treated my rheumatism. Galerius.
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Gallus Galerius Helver.
What?
It has been decided. Magistrate Galerius, would you like to make a brief address?
Okay, so they haven't turned up. So I guess that's just... Okay.
I want to say, this isn't something I ever wanted. Now that you've put your trust in me, I'm going to do everything I can not to let you down. I'll need some time to put together a list of the changes I want to make around here. But I promise you, there will be changes. My first order is that Dooley is to be freed. Horatius, release him from his cell immediately. Please. Wait, do I need to say please? I suppose not. That's it. You can all get on with your day. Nothing else to see here. Move along.
Alright, sick. What's Sentius gonna do now? Well in, lad. Magistrate Galerius looks busy. Yeah, mate.
Glad Galerius won.
Are
He
they?
deserved it.
Alright. Out you come, mate.
Fortune smiles on you today, Julius. Magistrate Galerius here has ordered your release.
You're going to let me out of here?
I'm sorry it took so long, my friend. And it wouldn't have happened at all if it wasn't for a newcomer. So be sure to offer your thanks when you can.
I will. I will. Thank you, Galerius. I'm so happy.
I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Why don't you go to the baths? Then tell Georgius I said you could have some new clothes. Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
Alright. Gimme, gimme, the Greek plaque. Hades, Lord of Many. We did it. We fucking did it. Letter from Sentius to Dooley. I'm writing... Oh, right, yeah, we read that. We read that, okay. Does Dooley have anything else to say?
Hello? I'm Dooley. Magistrate Galerius said I should thank the newcomer. Are you the newcomer?
That I am. That's me.
Oh,
I'm not going
it
to
is
mess
you.
his head up by saying we've met before.
then thank you. You're a big helper. I was locked up, but they let me out again. I'm so happy.
You're welcome.
You can have my shiny plaque if you want. And
I already
maybe
took
you
it.
can help me find my treasure. My friend Hannibal used to look after me, and he said he always would. But then he died. But before that, he told me if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious.
What is it? I don't remember this. What was it?
He gave me a key to the cisterns and told me to keep it safe. He said there's something very precious way up high. Please help me find it. Please. I had to keep it a secret until I found someone I could trust. Oh, thank you. Here's the key.
Okay, I don't remember this. Key to the upper cistern.
Hope you find it. In the cisterns. Way up high. Hannibal said.
Because, like, obviously that's where
Oh, look over there.
Scintilla is.
Something shining. Is it treasure? Maybe it is treasure. I can see it.
Oh no, he's gonna immediately... Oh no.
And it's just lying out here in the open. Maybe nobody wants it anymore.
That's funny.
Maybe no one will mind if I...
It's gonna immediately fuck the golden rule. Which means Sentius was right.
You dare.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Man, that sucks. That sucks that Sentius was right. That is a real shame. Meow. Alright, so we have all the plaques.
Salve, friend. Oh, Yulia. Oh, all right, then. I'll go.
Okay, you have fun with that. Let's do it then. I'm just sending him off just in case there's anything we need to do again, but that's so sad that Sentius was right to lock him up, because the moment he gets out, he fucking does it. But then what is this treasure? Should we just quickly go and see if we can find this treasure in the upper system? He said it was up high. Like, obviously, what's-her-face is in there, but Is there some other treasure? Like, or did he just mean that she is the treasure and he found her and then didn't tell anyone, or? Hello? Okay, this is just terrible loading screens. It's like an invisible wall whilst it loads. Okay, let's try that again, because that was bugged as fuck. Load me. Okay. There we go. So that's you, but now where's this treasure? I'm really sorry, but I'm not here for you. Up high. Like, actually, like, in the roof, or what? Nothing to do with any of these things. Maybe he was just talking about her? Because I'm not seeing anything else. Maybe the treasure was her all along? I don't think that's very clear if that is the case, but... Or maybe this is the treasure? Maybe he means this statue? You know what? He probably means the statue. It was called Heart of Gold. Maybe he just meant the statue. We'll go with that, because I can't think of anything else. Alright. In that case, but then there's fucking gold everywhere, so like, why would he care about one statue in there when, like, everywhere's gold? Whatever. Let's just do this. Here we go. Bang. Oh, I thought that was, I was like, wait, there's text, but it's just that. Bang. Bang. And bang. Hey, hey. Great Temple Door. Speak. Oh boy. Hades, Lord of Many, Nergal, the Fierce One, Osiris, Lord of Science, Pluto, Father of Riches. I mean, let's go with Hades. Nergal. Osiris. Pluto. Okay. I don't know if you had to do all of them for it to open? To prove you know all the names or something? Although you would if you had all 4 planks. Or whether it's just Pluto that is the one he answers to. And everyone else has just changed it and he doesn't answer to those. Pluto again. Oh, the doors are going backwards. Okay, so this one will be Osiris. Oh, no? That one was Hades. Okay, this one's Osiris then. It's not just backwards, but it is... Hades. No, Osiris. Got it. And then the last one's Nergal. So they've literally just built more doors on top of the previous... Wait, no, because this is an impossible room. Because the temple is not that big. We can walk behind the temple. So this doesn't exist in space-time. Nurgle. What the fuck? What? What? What in the motherfuck? Is that a fucking spaceship over there? And we're in some kind of space station? What on earth? Hang on. If I go back here, can you see Earth, like... Oh yeah, I was wondering if you could only see Earth through that end triangle, but no, it does poke around the sides. What in the fuck? Of all the things that I could have imagined would be through this door, you know what wasn't on the list? This. Hi?
And here you are.
What the fuck?
Introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names. Nergal to the Sumerians, Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You are unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield, and you do it so brazenly. But there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will.
What's your story?
My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to be more specific. What do you wish to know?
You're a god?
It is a matter of perspective. God is a label I was given by you mortals, not one I gave myself. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensibly powerful, just as you might seem so to an insect. But despite all that, there are rules even I must obey.
Okay, why'd you look and sound like a man?
My kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with your kind. In time, we grew fond of the sensory delights it affords. Desire, joy, ecstasy, even rage and sorrow, while an acquired taste can be addictive.
May I see your true form?
No. Long ago, I swore to Persephone that I would remain in this form for as long as we remained among your kind. I must honor that.
Who's the woman on your left?
This is my beloved. Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians, Isis to the Egyptians, Persephone to the Greeks, and Proserpina to the Romans. Or perhaps you might know her as the goddess.
But she's
of
locked up,
springtime,
right?
The cycle of life and renewal.
Say nothing of my whispering he cannot know. Okay.
Your gaze lingers too long.
Who's on your right?
That is my servant. You would have met by the river, though she wears many faces.
Hello,
and goes
Karen.
by many names. Kumutubal to the Sumerians, Kirti to the Egyptians, Charon to the Greeks, and Charon to the Romans. Her role is to ferry souls between the mortal world and this one, and to make their transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman. You will talk more later. For now, ask your questions.
Okay, back to the original
As you
set.
wish.
What is this place?
It has come to be known simply as the Underworld, and it exists because of a wager I made long ago.
What was the wager?
That is a long story, one that began over 3,000 years ago and continues to this day. You see, long ago my kin and I set out from our home on Elysium to search for other forms of life among the stars. We discovered your planet and witnessed your kind evolving from primates into something lawless and barbaric. You all but destroyed yourselves, your 2 short lives being extinguished by violence and ignorance and disease. Yet Proserpina saw raw potential in you, and persuaded the rest of us it would be squandered without our intervention and stewardship. So we revealed ourselves to your people in a place called Sumer. We offered guidance in agriculture, toolcraft, and law, and you called us gods. For a time you flourished, but soon you were too many for us to oversee. And as you spread from that cradle of civilization, we saw something disturbing. We had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion, and soon you returned to your old ways of violence and ignorance, this time in our name. My kin had seen enough, and gave up on your kind, condemning you as barbaric and chaotic, scarcely more than animals.
Yeah, that must suck.
We began preparations to return to Elysium, our home world, a utopia unspoilt by conflict and unimaginable in its beauty. But my Proserpina could not bear to abandon your kind without guidance, and knowing it would force the rest of us to leave her behind, she made an extraordinary sacrifice. She gave up her immortality to descend permanently to the ranks of humankind.
Wow.
And so she began her inescapable trajectory.
And that's why he's locked her up, to stop that.
Horrified, I acted swiftly. I placed her in suspended animation in a deep frozen sleep to prevent age and sickness from claiming her. And then I pleaded with Proserpina's father, who the Romans called Jupiter, to bring her with us to Elysium. It was and is my hope that once there, we might one day learn to undo what she has done to herself. But he refused. I did everything I could to persuade him, but he would not relent. He would rigidly uphold his final pronouncement. Humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium, and no exceptions would be made. But seeing that I was aggrieved, he proposed a wager, the terms of which were as follows. If even one human city could prove itself capable of living without sin for a single year, then Proserpina and all of humanity would be permitted to join us in Elysium.
Ha!
My part would be to remain behind, the last of my kind, to watch over you without interfering, and to sit in silent judgment. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting for the day your kind proves itself worthy of her faith in you, so that I might take her with me to Elysium and unthaw my goddess of springtime. And here I am, after all this time, still waiting.
Well, that answers literally everything. Holy fuck, man. Like, yeah, the gods are aliens. They came from another planet. Proserpina made herself human. He is trying to beat this wager with Jupiter so that he can get her back to Elysium. And the wager is that one city has to live without sin for a year, so he's made this city where they have to adhere to the golden rule, or he wipes them out, starts again. Hopefully, this time, they will manage it. And they never do, and he keeps trying. Huh.
There were also gods who, like me, have been known by many names. But perhaps you knew them by their Roman names. Our leader, Jupiter, as well as Neptune, Saturn, Juno, Minerva, Mars, Venus, Apollo, Diana, Vulcan, Vesta, Ceres, and of course, my beloved Proserpina.
Who built the city? You, I guess?
As the first wave of your kind arrived from Sumer, I had them build a city in their own fashion, so that they might be comfortable and recreate their lives here. I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths, to cleanse them of the sins of their former lives, and to prevent escape. I watched wave after wave of Sumerians arrive, and as their civilization declined over the centuries, they were replaced by Egyptians. Of course, believing themselves to be the superior civilization, the Egyptians promptly built over what had been built before, and made all the same mistakes. After another 1,000 years, the Greeks began to arrive, and then the Romans, and they all did the same thing. They built upon the underworlds of their predecessors, renamed their gods, and ensured their foundations were forgotten.
How did you decide who comes here?
To ensure the wager was fair, it was important that my subjects were chosen at random.
That's why I did the 1,000
end,
coins.
I had my servant distribute 1,000 tokens fashioned
But I'm the
from
last
silver,
one.
a rare element at the time, across all of Sumer. Whoever died while in possession of one of them would be located by my servant and ferried to this place, with no memory of how they arrived. As the tokens were discovered, they were traded, smelted, and fashioned into trinkets, and eventually coins, spreading to Egypt like seeds on the wind. Later, when they spread to Greece, they would come to be known as Charon's obol, or as coins for the ferryman. Some placed coins in the mouths of their dead, hoping they would awaken here, though they had no way of knowing which coins were fashioned from the original tokens. In fact, almost all of the tokens are accounted for, only 2 remain. And so after this wave destroys itself, as it is destined to do, your kind will have squandered the last of its potential to ascend beyond this rock, and Persepolis along with it.
Okay, so he's fucked if this doesn't work out, which it's not going to. How did humans learn about the Underworld?
It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was a king of Sumer, and a troublemaker. To be rid of him, I returned him to his people, on the condition that my servant erased his memories of this place. But the erasure did not take completely, and he told stories of this place as if describing memories of a dream. His tales were committed to writing, which came to be known as the Epic of Gilgamesh, and his words were twisted and distorted over generations. Later, the Egyptians would adapt Sumer's stories of the Underworld, making them wildly intricate and labyrinthine. Their Book of the Dead and Book of Gates bore less and less resemblance to this place in their priests' pursuit of profit. Then, when the Greeks began to arrive, they proved far more cunning, and in a series of incidents that will not be repeated, 5 of them escaped. A warrior named Heracles, 2 kings named Sisyphus and Theseus, a poet named Orpheus, and a Trojan named Aeneas. They each told embellished tales of this place, how to get here, and how to escape. And so from Sumer to Egypt, Greece to Rome, your kind has always told each other stories about this place, though each story contained only a seed of truth.
Damn.
Of course.
This is insane, man. I love this. Are you responsible for the Golden Rule? Obviously.
That is merely the name your people have given to it, but yes, it is my doing.
Why turn people into gold?
That is a story dating back to the very first wave. After the Sumerians finished building their city, the self-declared ruler threw a banquet to celebrate. Now this man was unmarried, and many women were vying to become his wife, a prestigious position of power and influence in a new world. Of all the women, 2 were particularly ambitious. Both were beautiful, and both arrived at the banquet wearing eye-catching dresses and painted faces, their hair woven in elaborate fashion. The first woman, recognizing that she would require an advantage to win the ruler's affection, draped herself in jewelry, ornate necklaces, bracelets, and rings fashioned from gold. Seeing this ostentatious display, the second woman grew envious, for she had no such jewelry at her disposal. She prayed aloud to any gods that would listen to cover her in gold, and when her prayer went unanswered, she took matters into her own hands. While the others indulged at the banquet, the second woman summoned the first for a discussion in a quiet place. She checked that nobody was watching, and pushed her rival from the top of the ziggurat, where she broke her neck on the rocks below. But I was watching, and I decided to answer her prayer. I took the golden bow left behind by Diana, and I shot that woman in the heart, covering her from head to toe in a layer of molten gold. And I left her to stand there, that she might serve as a grim reminder of what befalls those who sin in my domain. But that was not enough, for the entire city was tainted by her sin, and the wager could no longer be won. So I had no choice but to wipe the slate clean. I gilded them all to make way for a new wave, and began the wager again. And to this day, each of them, and all who came after, line the halls of this city, inanimate but conscious, suspended in time with only their sight and hearing preserved, so they may bear witness to and lament the folly of your kind for eternity, as silent golden sentinels.
Wow. So you're responsible for destroying all these lives?
I give your kind a second chance at life, as well as ample warning about my law. And when you disobey, and you always disobey, you force my hand, bringing terrible suffering upon yourselves.
And you
And so
always
you ask
disobey.
if I am the one destroying your lives. And I say, no, you destroy yourselves. I am merely the means by which you do it.
Man, they chose a fucking excellent voice actor to be this guy. Like, he's just got the perfect amount of gravel in his voice and gravitas and like, yeah, brilliant. Where did the golden bows come from?
When my kin departed, they left behind many relics which I inherited. A consolation prize of sorts. The golden bow originally belonged to one of my kin, who the Romans called Diana. As my collection of golden statues grew, I chose the most ferocious among them, and equipped them each with a duplicate of her bow, and tasked them with hunting down the Forsaken at my behest. They became known simply as Furies.
Okay, what do you consider a sin?
I've always considered that the cornerstone of morality is the ability to determine right from wrong on one's own. No attempt to lay out rules like your Code of Hammurabi or your 12 Tables of the Roman Republic can ever cover all possible scenarios. This should come as no surprise to you, since the core principle has been expressed in many forms by many of your civilizations. The Egyptians made a rudimentary attempt with do to the doer to make him do. The Greeks refined it with avoid doing what you would blame others for doing. The Roman Stoics added, treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Even the so-called cultists hiding among you often say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It is the simplest of concepts, and each one of you is born with the faculties required to apply it to any situation. Yet none of the peoples who expressed this rule were able to uphold it. Curious, is it not?
Very. That principle is not as easy to apply as it sounds. It doesn't seem like you've been upholding it either. I mean, he's not bound by it, right? That's just what we say. He may not agree with it.
Enough. You clearly know nothing. I've always considered... No,
Hang on, let's go through again. That principle is not as easy to apply as it sounds.
For you, perhaps.
Okay, what if I lie?
I've always agreed the Rome even it yet.
I've always lived my life that way.
We both know that is not true, and you would be deluded to believe otherwise.
Sure. How do you know when people sin?
I'm able to commune with all of the statues in the city. Their ears are my ears, and their eyes are my eyes.
Is Proserpina connected to the statues in the same way?
If she was still conscious, I suppose she could, but she's not. Why do you ask?
No reason.
Then what an odd question.
I've seen some terrible things here that you didn't consider a sin. How could you let them happen?
Do you plan to speak in sweeping generalizations, or are you going to give me an example?
Suicide.
I have seen no such thing, but in any case...
What?
Taking one's own life is a self-directed act. It is not one that is done to others, however they may be affected by it. Therefore, it cannot be said that one who commits suicide has done anything unto others.
That seems like an extremely literal interpretation of the rule.
Applying this rule always requires us to interpret the meaning of the words. A literal interpretation helps to minimize the ambiguities of your primitive language.
If our language is full of ambiguity, doesn't that make the rule inherently subjective and unreliable?
Supposing you're right, and my law has been broken, and I should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want?
No, of course not.
Now tell me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked?
Price gouging for life-saving medicine.
The merchant. How is that inconsistent with the rule I've outlined?
He wouldn't want someone else to demand an outrageous price for the medicine he needed if he was dying.
I disagree. Having watched this merchant, that is precisely what he would expect from others, and he would be quite capable of paying the price anyway.
You can't know what he would expect, you're just speculating.
Applying this rule always requires speculation to some degree. It requires us to ask what another person would want if they found themselves in another situation.
Doesn't that make it inherently subjective and unreliable? Is this going to be the same answer again?
Not if we're wise enough to know the mind of man.
And okay, it wasn't the same. And you think you know the minds of other people?
Supposing you're right.
This is the same. No.
Now tell...
Okay, a scam.
Ah, the tavern keeper, yes? How is that inconsistent with the rule?
She wouldn't want someone else to sell her hemlock if she thought she was buying a means of escape.
I disagree. Having watched that tavern keeper, that is precisely what she would expect from others. She would view it as a game, one she intends to win. Applying this rule always requires...
Okay, this is going to be the same.
Now tell
Fair enough. Okay, so they're all going to be like, yes, that person would expect that.
You speak of the moneylender.
He wouldn't want to be trapped in a 30-year labor contract.
And he would never have signed a contract pledging his labor for 30 years. All he did was enforce the terms of a contract signed voluntarily by others.
Sure. The whole concept of debt bondage is unethical, it's illegal under international law.
Ignoring your irritating sense of moral superiority. This is interesting. I'm curious, how do people escape poverty where you're from?
It's customary to take out a loan to buy a house, and in some places to pay for an education.
I see. And how long might it take such a person to repay their debt?
It depends. Typically decades, sometimes their entire life.
I fail to see how your system of loans is significantly different to a debt bondsman signing over his labor for 30 years.
I mean... he makes a good point, but like there are enough differences where it isn't the same thing.
Supposing you're...
Okay, that's just...
Now tell me.
Going to loop to that again. Experiments on the golden statues.
The midwife in the palace, yes. How is that inconsistent with the rule?
She wouldn't want to be experimented upon if she were gilded.
The rule is do unto others, meaning other people. Those statues are something else now. Bloodless shadows, mere shapes of their former selves.
Sure,
they are
okay.
Forsaken. What happens to them is no concern of mine.
I see.
Now tell me, what...
abduction?
Abduction? You mean the magistrate imprisoning his daughter in the cistern, I take it. He did so because she sought to escape. A sin I take particularly seriously. Better that he stops her from escaping, albeit brutishly, than I have to wipe out this entire city to punish her. Wouldn't you agree?
I just realized something really dumb I said a while ago. I imagine I will have had comments explaining this at the time. But I remember saying, why did he lock her up when people keep finding her and that's what causes the issue? Like, why doesn't he just kill her? And obviously, it's because killing her breaks the golden rule. I don't know, I can't remember how many parts ago I said that. But like, yeah, that's dumb of me to say. That's funny. I imagine when that part goes up, people will be like, are you stupid? And yes, in that moment, I was stupid. I mean... Obviously, I don't want everyone else to die.
Now tell me, what...
So, yeah. It's no wonder people say the gods are cruel. This just shows how unreliable and subjective your moral code is. You're no better at judging right from wrong than any human.
Do you honestly think you could do better?
No, but that's my point. Nobody's grasp of right and wrong is so perfect they can become trusted with all this power. You've become a tyrant.
I should strike you down for that.
Enough talk, I'm gonna end this? Draw golden bow? What? Huh. That's curious. You could kill him? I'm not going to, because there's more conversation to be had, but I am curious to maybe come here again on another loop and try that. If you did, you'd be proving my point.
Now, did you have any other questions before your reckoning?
Let's talk about
Very
something
well.
else. That's all the questions I had.
Good. Then now it is time for your reckoning. Only, it seems, something is wrong. It has long been within my power to see into the hearts of mortals and weigh their deeds in life. But when I peer into you, I see only a blank slate, as if you did not exist until you appeared in this city. How is this possible? Charon, where did you find this one?
I do not remember ferrying you. How did you come here?
Wait, what do you mean you don't remember ferrying me? You did ferry me. I'm from the future.
If that is true, then I sense the intervention of someone powerful.
Oh, right. Proserpina,
How did
okay.
you come
But
to be in this time, mortal?
Charon was still the one that pulled me out of the river, even if I did come from the future. He cannot know. Okay, so... I was hoping you could tell me.
I do not know. My kin departed long ago, and Proserpina has slumbered for 3,000 years.
Shouldn't you know this as god of the Underworld?
Tread lightly, mortal. Enough of this. It seems I will need to put your reckoning on hold for now. But answer this. Why have you come here? What is it you seek?
Oh boy. I'd like you to put an end to the golden rule.
Your hubris is amusing, so I will allow you to make your case. But I warn you, if you anger me or waste my time with lies or wrong-headed arguments, you face death here. So, tell me, why should I put an end to the so-called golden rule?
Oh boy. If you're doing this for love, you should know Proserpina doesn't love you. Well, that's not gonna get me anywhere. How can you expect us to live without sin if you can't do it yourself? The golden rule is corrupting this city and ensuring you'll never win the wager. Huh. I think that one? Because, like, that's what he cares about, right? Is winning the wager so he can take Proserpina home. So if he thinks that it's actually causing the issues, then maybe?
How so? And be specific. You have made a grave allegation, and I expect you to back it up.
Decius is price gouging for life-saving medicine because he knows nobody can take it by force. Okay, I mean, all of these. Let's do this top one, I guess.
True. I have witnessed him doing that.
I guess all of them.
He is a volatile and confused fellow, that one. I admit, I have grown disturbed watching them.
And Malleolus with the debt bondage.
His cruelty does seem to grow greater by the day. If you're right, my involvement has corrupted the very thing I sought to observe impartially. But if I were to accept that, are you telling me these humans could coexist peacefully, without theft or violence, without my law?
No, but humans need to be able to... But humans need to be able to use of force. What? Hello? Is my brain malfunctioning? Does that sentence make sense? No, but humans need to be able to use of force. Is the of just not supposed to be there? Humans need to be able to use force in exceptional circumstances to correct their societies. The sentence makes sense if you remove the of.
How so?
We use violence to discourage bad behavior, to neutralize criminals, and overthrow tyrants.
And how is that working for you?
Where I'm from, 2,000 years in the future, it's working pretty well. On average, life expectancies are climbing, and crime rates are declining.
So you say, and yet your world is still imperfect.
It's getting better all the time. One day we'll get there. It will always be imperfect, but the kind of force required to create a utopia will inevitably result in tyranny.
You have spoken eloquently, and yet, if what you say is true, it follows that my wager was fatally flawed from the beginning.
It does,
but
I'm afraid.
That would mean Jupiter, Proserpina's father, who knew more about you than anyone, proposed a wager I could never win. Why would he do that?
Perhaps he wanted you to abandon the wager. Perhaps he felt threatened by you and didn't want a potential challenger in Elysium? I feel like he wouldn't have made a mistake, and I feel like the Proserpina one and the kin not wanting him one would piss him off. So I feel like the only one that's gonna, like, appeal to him is the one that positions him as, like, a top dog, right? A challenger to Jupiter.
Perhaps. But if that was so, surely I would have sensed his deception. How could I have been so blind for so long?
You're a monster on a power trip. Perhaps when you took on human form, you took on human foibles. Perhaps you were blinded by your love. Ugh. Maybe the middle one?
Your words sting me, mortal. But perhaps it is what I deserve.
Nice.
As difficult as this is to admit, I have suspected as much for a long time now. And I cannot deny it any longer. I've been so fixated on taking my beloved to Elysium that every time one of you sinned, it wore away my hope of being with her again. In time, I began to despise your kind for making her believe that you could ever be better than you are. But my rage was not born of malice. Quite the opposite. Everything I have done, I did because I loved her. Who knew this empathy of yours, which you celebrate so much, could have such a dark underside? This has gone on too long. It is time for me to let go of this form, of her, of all of you. But know this, if I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend.
Why can't we go to Elysium? Because we're going to be sinful.
Because doing so would violate the rules of my sacred agreement with Jupiter, and you would receive a hostile reception. The best I can do is return you to the land of the living. I will have Charon make arrangements to ferry the others. But as for you, be aware you will be separated from the rest.
Why?
Once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place, and you will have created a paradox. What will become of you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow of time. Now, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Farewell, mortal.
We've done it. We persuaded the god of the Underworld to abolish the Golden Rule. Now, my big question is this ending 3 or ending 4? I don't know what ending... If this is ending 4, I don't know what ending 3 could have been, but at the same time, I don't see how anything could be bigger than that, right? Like, we have spoken to God, learned everything about him and his kind, learned everything about everything, and got the Golden Rule abolished, right? Like, how could anything possibly be bigger than that to warrant being the 4th ending? So I feel like that has to be the 4th ending. In which case, what was the 3rd one? Talking to him about Proserpina, maybe? Let's have a look. I mean, it will tell me which one I got, so...
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Well,
need to find you.
here I am.
Didn't catch your name.
Oh,
Mr.
did that lady in the forest send you in here after me? I guess I lost track of time, learning about the history of this place, and it is extraordinary. I'm fairly certain you and I are the first people to set foot in this city for about 2,000 years. Fortunately for us, the last person in here was a Roman man named Galerius, who inscribed an account into a tablet. Apparently, there was a community of 20-something people trapped in here, and living in fear of a curse they called the Golden Rule. They believed that if even one person sinned, an unknown god would cast them all into gold, like the 1,000 people who'd lived here before them. Then, one day, just as Galerius had finished praying for a good harvest at the shrine of Proserpina, an oracle appeared and told him how to solve the ills of the city, like saving the life of a dying woman, preventing the suicide of a man in debt bondage, freeing a falsely accused prisoner, foiling an assassination attempt, and so on. Meanwhile, the oracle walked up to the temple of the mysterious god, this one right here, and demanded an audience. And the doors just opened up to him. Nobody knows what went on in there, but Galerius wrote the oracle must have been more persuasive than Odysseus, because the next thing he knew, the ground shook and the voice of that god rang out over the city. The many have suffered long enough. Unfortunately, Galerius' account just sort of stops after that, leaving a lot of questions unanswered. What became of him and the other people who lived here? What happened to all the golden statues? And did this mysterious oracle single-handedly undo the curse that had terrorized people for hundreds of years?
Actually, that was me.
What? Oh, I see. For a moment there, I thought you were serious. Anyway, I think I found a way out through the aqueduct that brought water into the city. Follow me.
I'm right behind you. And then we get brought out here, same as before, okay. Is he boarding this up? Yup.
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure.
Good idea.
Go on it.
Okay. Okay, so is any of this final dialogue gonna have changed? I mean, I would assume so, because we abolished the Golden Rule. Like, that's a big deal. The only thing I can think of that would be a third ending, if this is the fourth, which I feel like it has to be, is the Proserpina stuff.
You're back! But...
Okay, we heard that. I found him. He'll be here.
Why don't you tell me what you just...
I discovered you're not who you said you were. I remember meeting you 2,000 years ago.
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions.
Who are you really?
You can just call me Charon, if you like. I am sorry I was not completely honest with you.
Is this the same?
I do not enjoy to see.
Yeah, we've heard this all before.
That you die, my rule, as the servant.
How did I die?
Most so. Ask your.
Yes, I want to know.
Unfortunately,
Murdered.
You both. There was not. He died. That man. You were each.
Okay, we've heard all of this. Here we go. Here we go. This is new. Pluto said the coins Al and I had were the last in existence. What does that mean for you?
It means I am now bereft of purpose. There is nobody else to ferry here. Nobody to keep you company. After 5,000 years, the Underworld has finally run its course.
What's so special about these coins?
Perhaps you have heard the tales of
Wait, we have heard this bit actually.
No stories. A long time ago, my orders.
Yes, Pluto mentioned that my coin was the last in existence.
It means I am now. There is nobody else.
Okay, and that's a repeat. Can you return us to the
I
land
see
of
no
living?
point in keeping you here.
Keep it to yourself.
But
Here
I
comes
have to
Al.
ask one thing.
I can't skip this line.
That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an oracle who confronted a god and undid an ancient curse.
Sounds like quite a story. And I look forward to hearing all about it. But you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
Alright, Charon, ferry us home. Okay, moment of truth. Was that Route 3 or was that Route 4? Oh, what? 1 year later? Okay.